Leafs GM Brad Treliving says do not pay much attention to the Mitch Marner rumors online. Plus, Elliotte Friedman reveals who the Toronto Maple Leafs top target is going to be for free agency. I'm going to break all this down for you coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But with that said, let's just jump right into the first topic of video today, which is Leafs keeping Marner. And yes, after a whirlwind of rumors that have been sweeping the NHL recently, we've seen a comment from Brad Treliving saying maybe don't believe everything you're seeing online, as he says, Mitch is a superstar in the league. I'd caution us not to pay too much attention to some of the noise. We can't react to all of this. So when you initially read this quote from Brad Treliving, it kind of seems like the Leafs are very much interested in keeping Mitch Marner from the trade rumors that have been going around saying that he's going to be traded. Hearing from Brad Treliving today, it kind of seems like they're going the opposite direction, and so does believe NHL insider Elliotte Friedman, where he said, obviously Friedman feels the most likely scenario is that Marner stays with Toronto. The direct quote being, I do believe the Leafs have considered internally making him a contract offer and see where it goes. Until I get evidence that he's serious about going anywhere else, there's a serious offer for him to go anywhere else in terms of both the contract and trade. You have to convince me that this is going to go any other direction. So it's seeing now by the people online, from Elliotte Friedman and from Brad Treliving, people who know what's going to happen here in the Leafs camp. Well, Elliotte Friedman knows most of what's going to happen here in the Leafs camp. It's seeming like they are going to keep Mitch Marner, and I know a lot of people down in the comment section are not going to be happy about that. A lot of you guys wanted to see him traded. A lot of you guys wanted to see him maybe stay, but majority wanted to see him go. And hearing now that Brad Treliving say don't read into what you're hearing online, don't pay too much attention to it, means that they're most likely working on a contract and are looking to keep Mitch Marner and not move him out, which, after we seen him having coffee with Craig Berube, it kind of seemed to me that this was likely going to happen. And now, I think this is a good decision because I do think Mitch Marner is an outstanding player. I think he's one of the better defensive forwards in the league. He's obviously good in the regular season, having 99 points, almost getting to that 100-point threshold. But, like I've said in previous videos, sometimes in the playoffs, most of the time, it looks like he takes his foot off the gas a little bit, whether, that's just exhaustion from the whole season or whatever it may be. But I do think after the slander he got online after this postseason, it kind of maybe woke him up a little bit, saying, hey, I need to, put my foot on the gas a lot here in the playoffs. And I think next season he's going to go into this playoffs with, the mindset of, I can't let the fans down again. I can't be the scapegoat again, which I think is going to amount to a better play in the playoffs by Mitch Marner. I think, like I said, this guy is a tremendous player. You can't knock that from him. I mean, a lot of you guys wanted to see him traded, but if this was my team, if this was Montreal Canadiens, I wouldn't want to see Mitch Marner traded. He's one of your better players. He's one of the guys who's been there. He's a core member of this roster. And I know what you guys are saying, that something needs to change here and stuff, but we got a new coach now. And if we see him, obviously, Berube has a plan of what to do with this core four and how to make it successful. So I think you need to give him a season to try this. That's why I think that they will extend Marner, and if it doesn't work out, they will trade him next season. But the option's always there. He's probably going to have a no-move clause, but if the same thing goes this season if the same thing goes next season as it did this season, there's no doubt in my mind that they will look to trade him in this scenario. But like I said, I think he's going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder here this year, trying to prove to the fans that he's worth wearing the blue and white, worth being, a player on their beloved team. So I think that Mitch Marner is going to have a career year this year, and it is a contract year. If he doesn't sign a contract until next season, then we know how contract years turn out. They usually turn out pretty good for those players, as we've seen with William Nylander, as we've seen with Austin Matthews. And the list goes on and on. So I think we're in for a good season from Mitch Marner, and you can tear me apart in the comment section, but I think it's a good decision for him to stay in Toronto. But we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Tanev is the top target. And yes, we did get some more news here from Elliotte Friedman today, where he went on the Jeff Merrick show. Not that he only talked about Mitch Marner, he did talk about who he thinks the Leafs are going to acquire here in free agency. This is what he had to say. He said, knowing Treliving, I think Tanev is the guy he likes the most. He said he likes his game, he likes him personally, and he knows him. And that was Elliotte Friedman, like I said, on the Jeff Merrick show. And we did report on this a couple of days ago, but hearing from insider Elliotte Friedman, where, you know, he knows a lot about what the ins and outs are going on here in the offseason, I think this is big news. I think Tanev was the guy who we all really wanted to see here when the trade deadline was rolling around, and everybody wanted to see Tanev get traded to the Leafs. They wanted that guy. They wanted the defensive guy like Tanev on that blue line to shore it up for them. Right-handed shot guy as well, so I think that is a big bonus for the Leafs, and I think we will see them gunning for him this offseason. I mean, if we just look at Tanev's stats this season, obviously 75 games, he had 19 points. He's not going to contribute a lot to your offense, but the defensive side of the game is where it's going to happen. I think on a Leafs team, I think he could put up over 19 points for sure. I think the star-studded roster, I think he could easily put up this amount of points, but where we're looking here is he had 45 hits this season, and he blocked 207 shots. That's the big number there. Obviously, being his expected plus-minus is 7.3, averaging almost 20 minutes time on ice this season between his time with Calgary and with the Dallas Stars. So I think this is the perfect guy here. We've talked a lot about Chris Tanev here on the channel, and I think he is the perfect guy to fit into this Leafs blue line. Yes, are you going to go out and spend a good chunk of change on a guy like Chris Tanev? Yes, I think after seeing DeMello go for 4.9, that's the ballpark we're going to be at. I think it's going to be $5+ million depending on the term of the deal. And I really do think this is definitely worth it because the Leafs need this guy. I mean, if they get Chris Tanev to play that top pairing with Morgan Rielly, it kind of frees up Morgan Rielly to lean more offensive because, you know, even with Lyubushkin, he was starting to tend to lean a little bit offensively, but was still stuck in that, you know, kind of two-way role. But now with a guy like Chris Tanev, who is so good defensively, not to knock Lyubushkin because he was great defensively, but Chris Tanev is on another level when it comes to putting his body on the line, putting his body in front of pucks to, you know, try to get as many pucks coming towards net, not on net as possible. So if you have such a tremendous defensive guy like Chris Tanev here, I think, you know, this works out great for Morgan Rielly. I think he frees him up offensively. We see him to start to shoot a little bit more and get involved in the offense that way. And I would really love to see this happen because I think this guy is a tremendous defenseman. We wanted him here at the trade deadline, and I think now is the perfect time to go out and get Chris Tanev. He's in free agency. There's going to be a lot of teams looking at him, no doubt about it. But I think this guy is high up on Brad Treliving's list. Like Friedman said, he knows him. He knows his game, obviously, during his time with the Calgary Flames. And I think he would fit perfectly under new coach Craig Berube. And I think this is one of the many defensive signings we will see from the Toronto Maple Leafs this offseason. This being the biggest of the bunch, in my opinion. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about a Chris Tanev coming to the Leafs? I know you guys are going to like it, but I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Jimmy. Jimmy says Tanev would be a real nice acquisition, and 100% Jimmy, we agree with you here on the channel. But once again, we gotta say shout out to you, Jimmy, for showing your continued support here on the channel. We see you commenting all the time. It's nice to see familiar faces come back here to the channel. And once again, shout out to you, Jimmy. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below hit that like button. Helps push these videos out to all the Leafs fans watching on YouTube. Also, comment on the video. You might be featured on the next comment of the day, just like our buddy Jimmy here. And subscribe to the channel. I mean, we're on the road for 4,000 subscribers here on the channel. If you want to help us get us one more sub closer to our goal, we'd really appreciate it if you went down and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out a video we did just yesterday, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. We'll catch you in the next one.